Hi ladies, it's Cathy, and today I want to talk about some frumpy winter fashion mistakes that we need to avoid as plus size women. I live in Canada. It gets really cold here come January, February, and it can be super easy to look frumpy because we need to bundle on our big puffy coats to stay warm so we don't get frostbite. But I have come up with some tips so that we end up looking stylish and not frumpy. Whenever I say frumpy, I mean outdated, so I prefer to look refreshed, and I have some simple tips that can help us look that way when we have to wear bulky extra layers to keep warm this winter. So the first thing that I want to suggest is that you choose coats that have less bulk but are still warm. Thankfully, we live in a time when there is like a lot of great new materials that coats can be warm but very thin, like without a lot of bulk. Do you remember being a kid and playing outside and you probably had like a great big fluffy feather-filled down coat to keep you warm and maybe you looked like the Michelin Man? I know I did, because those big puffy coats can really add to our frame and make us look a lot larger. So I have a few coats that I own that I just want to make you aware of. The first one is the Athleta Featherless Whisper Parka. I bought it last year. It is so lightweight, but it is very warm. Now, do I wear this like those 2 weeks in the beginning of February when it's minus 35 Celsius? No, I'll wear my parka instead. But otherwise, that's the coat that I pretty much wear all of the time from like the end of November till beginning of March when the temperatures start to rise. The great thing about this Athleta parka, the one that I have is the longer length because I like a coat that covers my back and my butt. And it does, so it's great when you're driving because it has a two-way zipper. And I always like to open the bottom zipper part up. It just, gives you more room in the hip area when you're sitting. This coat comes in, I think, 3 or 4 different colors, very size inclusive. Like I said, it is super comfortable. It is lightweight, like it weighs ounces, but it is so warm. So if you live in a climate where maybe you don't get a lot of snow, but you get a lot of rain and it's damp, I think it would be perfect for you. Also, if you live in a big city where, you're just ducking in and out of the subway to a mall or to work, I think it's also a great option. And Athleta clothing is really excellent quality and they always have sales. The next coat that I want to recommend is my North Face parka, and I actually just bought this last year. I got a great sale on. They do carry plus size parkas as well. This is such a super warm coat. I find as I'm getting older, I don't like the cold as much, and I find I can get colder a lot easier. So I do have snowshoes, and I had snowshoed a few years back. We didn't get to do it last year because it was more ice than snow here. But this parka is so nice. Like if you go for walks every day, or if you have a dog that you got to take out to do his business, I recommend that you look into this parka. Again, has a two-way zipper, so warm, and it is not bulky at all. And I believe it does come in different colors. The next suggestion that I have for you is to be aware of the coat length. Because we are plus size, or if you are like me, apple shaped, personally, I prefer my winter coat to fall either just above my knee or just right under the knee. I don't want it cutting my calf because it's not a good look and that's just a little too long for what I need. And if it's any shorter, it emphasizes my belly. Now I'm showing you this side view photo of me from the old navy jacket that I bought this fall and I'm still wearing. I do like it, but if you're trying, to avoid fashion mistakes, I just want to show you that this can be considered like a fashion mistake because the coat is a little too short for what I would like, and you can see how it brings attention to my midsection. Now, if this coat fell just at my lower hip line, I think it would be a lot better look. So just be mindful of the length of your coat. Now, if you wear a lot of dresses or skirts during the winter time, I don't because it's too cold. I would suggest getting a coat then that is a little bit longer, that maybe falls to just above where your shin is, because I still feel if it cuts in the middle of the shin, it could end up like making your legs look a little odd. So you want to think about proportions. I would also suggest that if you are wearing a dress or a skirt to avoid like a short puffer coat, because that can totally ruin the look of your outfit. And I have been on the hunt and I haven't found one so far. I'm looking for a good wool coat. There are some on J. Crew, but they're so expensive I keep waiting for like a really good sale. But every time they have a sale and I look for my size, it's out of stock. Because I would like a wool coat. That is something that I don't have, and I just like the look of them. I think that a wool coat instantly dresses up an outfit. Even if you're just wearing like jeans or leggings, it really can amp your outfit. Another thing that I think we need to be mindful of when we are plus size, when we're plus size, or if you have an apple shape like me, we tend to have a larger chest and we don't have a lot of space in this area. So anytime I can create like space, like with a V-neck, or bringing some attention with dangling earrings or something, that just helps to slim the body and also brings the eyes up away from my belly. So a lot of coats, if they have faux fur collars, I just find that on a plus size woman, that can bring attention to here, and it could end up making this area look a lot larger. So if you still want the look of faux fur, I suggest maybe getting a pair of mittens or gloves that have faux fur, or even your boots, or even maybe your hat. Get a little faux fur hat. I have one that I bought from Amazon. It was very reasonable. It's a bucket hat, faux fur, and it's kind of cute for the winter, and you kind of can look a little stylish wearing some faux fur. The next suggestion that I have to avoid looking frumpy this winter is to go for a monochromatic look. Monochromatic is my go-to dressing tip whenever I want to look longer and leaner. And whatever I mean monochromatic with our winter wear, I know that most of the time the pants that I wear are either navy or black. That's just a given, like that's what I wear all the time. For me, it would make sense to buy either a black or a navy coat, because when I have my coat on, then it's going to blend in with my pants, and I have black winter boots. So I just look like one long column, and that makes me look a little longer and thinner. If you tend to wear a lot of beige, then perhaps your coat, maybe you would like, black looks nice with camel, or maybe you'd like a brown coat, just something in the same kind of family so it all just blends in. It doesn't have to be exactly matchy-matchy, but if it comes like from the same family color, it's a really sharp look, and it looks like you put a lot of effort into getting dressed. What I am leery of is, say I bought a really bright green coat, which I would not do, but just to prove my point, if I put my green coat on over my black pants and my black boots, it's not a horrible look because black and green go together. However, it's gonna still like chop my body where the green is. So the eye's going to be drawn to that area. Whereas if it was all, one color in the same family, I'm going to look a lot taller. So the next fashion mistake that can make us look frumpy is wearing a coat with a belt. And anytime we have a little more padding in our midsection, avoiding a belt, in my opinion, you don't have to agree, but this is how I dress myself, is I avoid them. I don't even own a belt. But if I had a coat with a belt, I would either not wear it, or I would tie the belt directly under my bust, because that's the smallest area and it creates like a waist, so it would give me more of an hourglass shape. Because belts that cut in the belly area, they emphasize that area and they can actually make you look larger. So personally, I prefer a coat without a belt, but if you want to wear a belt, I have seen some coats, I'll see if I can find a photo, that kind of has an elasticized waistband, and they sometimes have like a fake belt where it's just like really a buckle in the front. I would say you would have to try that on because it may or may not work for you, but I just want to give you that option. If you prefer to wear a belt, that might be something that you could think about doing. So the next suggestion I have is add pops of color. Because the winter can be so dark and dreary and so darn long that you can make a ton of different outfits out of one coat just by matching your mittens, your scarf, your hat. Say one day wear all red, the next day wear all green. Like if you buy a coat that is navy or black or brown or a neutral, just find colors that go with the coat, And you may have one coat, but you know, you could have 7 different looks for every day of the week. And you can buy lots of sets, like I know Talbot's always has them on sale. They have some really pretty scarves and gloves. I prefer mittens because I just find my fingers are kind of chunky, and I just can't stand the feeling of, you know, anything tight on them. That's why I don't wear rings. So I prefer a mitten. But they have all sorts of different like gloves and mitts out today. And it's really fun, I think, like if you go with a really contrast color. Like say I have a navy coat on, if I went with like a nice lime green mitts, like that really pops. So that's gonna, you know, bring attention. Or if you want a more muted color, you could go with the same color as your coat. But you can buy all sorts of accessories that can bring some interest to your outfit. My next tip is to use a fabric shaver to get rid of any fuzz. I think it's super important that we look at our sweaters and possibly our coats and really go over them with a fine-tooth comb. And if you see any like little fuzz balls or any pilling, get yourself a fabric shaver. I'll link the one that I have below. And you just go over it and it immediately takes the fuzz balls away and you look like you have a brand new sweater or a coat. Because if you go around with a sweater and it's got all kinds of those little fuzz balls, kind of looks sloppy looking. So just take maybe 10 minutes, you know, defuzz your sweater and it's like you just got a new piece of clothing again. If I could ask for your help, I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And I know that a lot of you are not yet subscribed to my channel, so it would really help my channel to grow, and I would be so appreciative if I could get to that 100,000 subscribers. Please consider doing so if you have not subscribed yet. I also suggest wearing a really bright lip color, maybe a nice red or a nice pink, just something that pops. Because if I'm bundled up with my scarf and my black jacket, you know, that can make my face look a little pale against all of the white snow that is already here. Just putting a bright lip on can really make your beautiful face pop. I also suggest wearing bronzer in the winter. I wear bronzer year round, and I'll let you in on a little secret. I have the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, which is fairly expensive. I have a It Cosmetic bronzer, which is nice, but I find sometimes a little too dark. But I have the drugstore bronzer, the L'Oreal Lumi bronzer. I discovered it a couple years ago. It is the bronzer that I reach for 100% of the time. This bronzer is so nice. I have the lightest shade, I think it's Fair, and I use it as a powder. I don't use that one particularly like if I want a contour, but I just will use it as a powder and just a fluffy brush go all over my face, down my neck. It's buildable, but I just find that it brings warmth to my face, which is helpful whenever, you know, we have 30 days of no sunshine and it's dark and dreary. It just looks like I got back from a nice tropical vacation, and I think it also helps to improve the mood as well because it just, I don't know, when you look in the mirror, you look like you're healthy and glowing, and it just makes me happy. And another suggestion that I have so we don't look frumpy this winter as plus size women is to be mindful of the boots that we pair with our outfit. Now, let's talk about the toe first. There are pointy toes boots, and I know a lot of stylists say that whenever you are plus size or petite, a pointy toe shoe or boot is more flattering because it elongates the leg. They may be right, but in my case, I'm going to tell you what I do, what I prefer. I prefer a rounded, or I think they call it an almond-shaped toe. Yes, I do have boots and shoes that do have a pointy toe, and they're fine, but I just find on my body, whenever I compare the two side by side, I think that the more rounded option looks better on me. And I think part of the reason is because my body size is round. I think that if you are tall and thin, then maybe a pointier toe works better. That's my personal belief. Like, you can wear whatever it is you like, but I would like to know your opinion. Do you prefer like a pointy toe or more of a rounded toe? And by round, I don't mean like a half moon. I just mean like a nice, you know, rounded, I think it's called almond toe shoe. But also be mindful. If you live in the cold climate like I do, you probably have 2 or 3 different pairs of boots because we wear them for 5-6 months here. So it's nice to have options. So if you're wearing a dress or a nice outfit that you put a lot of effort into and you want to like really make a statement when you walk into the room, don't wear skidoo boots or big clunky old boots or Ugg boots. Wear nice, dressy boots, boots that go to your knee, or even nice ankle booties. Leave the skidoo boots for, in the bush. Even if you're wearing jeans, I would prefer to wear like nicer boots. They don't have to be dress boots, but maybe some Chelsea boots. I think that would be a better option. Just be mindful when you're getting dressed, the vibe that you want for your outfit that day, and then just kind of think ahead before you even get dressed. What boot or what shoe am I going to pair with this outfit? And also, if you have more than one coat, what coat are you going to wear with it? So these are just, little tips you can implement when you're getting dressed this winter. It can be a really long winter, especially without a lot of sunshine, but still important to look and feel your best. And one of the ways that we can do that is when we're getting dressed, wear clothing that, makes us feel good about ourselves and makes us feel confident. So just maybe don't let go of that feeling whenever you feel like you have to bundle up in the winter, because we still deserve to look and feel our very best. I will link my Amazon Ultimate Gift Guide in case you missed it. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. Please help me get my channel to 100,000 subscribers. And if you found my video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Bye.